2019. Here at Jasper City Hall, 465 South Main Street. And Mitch, could I get you to give our opening prayer, please?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for the blessings you give us each and every day. I thank you, Father, for our city. I thank you for those that are gathered here tonight. I pray that you watch over and bless each of us, bless our families. We thank you especially this time of the year for your Son, Jesus Christ, and for the wonderful blessings that we have available to us because of his birth, death, and resurrection. Forgive us of our sins. Help us to forgive others as you have forgiven us, and help us to love others as you have loved us. These things we pray in Christ's name.
Amen. I want to commend to the council members the departmental reports that are in our agenda package, the SRNPA information. Also, before we get into public comments, I want to say all of us who have jobs, sometimes the results of our jobs are you see, sometimes you don't. It's sort of unspoken. Want to commend all the city employees that do a good job for us all the time that we don't see. But if you go to the city park, it would probably be unbelievable if we knew the number of city hours that the city employees put in decorating our park. The ladies that went on Sunday before the opening of the park, I believe, and put the ribbons on all the bridges and stuff, the little extra things. So thank you, all the city employees, for what you do on a daily basis, and especially I want to thank all the employees who have worked diligently getting our park set up in all facets. So thank you very much.
Here, here.
We do have two folks who have signed up for public comments. I want to remind those speaking that it is a time for you to speak, that we're, whether it's public criticism of us or public blessings of us, we just have to say thank you very much, and I will remind each of you speaking that we are required to ask that it be between no more than 3 to 5 minutes. So that being said, Mr. Josh Hadnot, and you may use the podium or wherever you're most comfortable.
Thank you very much for having me, Mayor, Council, City Leaders. I'm here tonight on behalf of Jasper ISD. Back in September, October, we started a Difference Makers Committee that allowed us to target opportunity youth, which range between the ages of 16 and 26 in the Jasper community. Obviously, we've got companies coming in like Ravalis and Motiva, TLL Temple, LP. We've got great companies around Jasper. And in order for us to increase our economic value, we decided to target those that will be leading us in the future, which is our youth. Chief Hall allowed me to take some time off and travel with this group to Aspen, Colorado in October to this national convention that they have, and we learned a lot. We obtained some data for Jasper ISD as we partnered with 6 other school districts to form this solid foundation that's funded through grants and other means. And looking at the data for Jasper ISD, the most important thing was the 137 students that are considered homeless. And that's according to TEA definition of the word homeless. Homeless means you sleep on a chair, in a car, in an RV, in anything other than a natural bed that you would have at a solid habitation, which is a home. Nothing on wheels, a solid foundation. We had 47 military commitments, which was by far phenomenal for Jasper ISD in our community. I mean, that speaks volumes for what parents and people have put out as an example of themselves to continue to serve this country. Of those 137, we had 60 of those students that range between the age of 16 and 26 who have no high school diploma or GED. we have to encounter them as law enforcement. And part of Aspen's reform is to find a way for criminal justice professionals to encourage these young adults to get back into the education field. Obviously, everybody's not meant to go get a college degree, so the workforce is the second opportunity. And the city of Jasper has a phenomenal workforce. You can go be a plumber, you can be an electrician, you can be in law enforcement. I mean, there's a variety of avenues that you can go down to help that cause. The dropout rate is also very, very, very outstanding. We're still working on data to get that number solid, but it is very high because most of the time parents and students go with the homeschool tab, which is not a legitimate school. I mean, we all understand what homeschool means. It means you're not gonna finish your education like you're supposed to. So we're trying to really be aggressive with that number and lower that. We've went after several grants. We're closing in on $1 million in grants for Jasper ISD to help fund this program. Crystal Jocelyn manages it. She's Director of Federal Programs for Jasper ISD, and she's doing the wonderful. She couldn't be here tonight because she's taking the place of Dr. Hyden at another event. So we decided to split our chances here. Of this disconnection rate, we partner closely with St. Augustine, and that's where most of the data comes from. We've got almost 3,000 opportunity use between 2 school districts, and we're talking countywide, not just the city of Jasper. We're talking people who pay Jasper ISD taxes and send their children to us in their best behalf. Other than that, we really wanted to update you guys on that movement that the ISD is working on, and we would really love for you guys to be a partner with us to help connect TWC, the Workforce Commission, and to try to speed up the process and getting internships and other things, for not only the summer, but for long-term effects to help sustain the city of Jasper and its economic growth. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Evelyn O'Neill.
I just wanted to talk about the number 2 on the agenda with the CenterPoint Energy. And the city got a letter for the intent to raise the rates on CenterPoint Energy. And the thing is, CenterPoint sent this, I don't know, I guess they sent it out in November, but this rate increase goes into effect in 3 days from now, the 19th. And I don't understand why we didn't get something a little bit earlier, but I don't know. But anyway, the whole thing is, this rate is not for gas. It's for non-gas essentials. Like, I would suppose that it's investments on, well, they said investments, but I would say it's probably on equipment and labor. But this new schedule is, it's gonna increase, I think, about $22,000. Is that right? $22,308 for the city, from the city. That's what the people will be paying. There's only like 1,240 residential gas people in customers in Jasper. But anyway, my question is there any competition for this CenterPoint Energy? Is there any way that we can not use them and use someone else, or can they just raise the rates whenever they want and however they want? It says that, and I realize the city cannot do anything about their rates. They will raise the rates if they want to. But it does say that the city doesn't need to take any action, although they may participate in proceedings in the commission that will determine the final rates. I know that the city owns the pipes, or they get a franchise fee from every month. And if they get, and also they get a sales tax. Now, this increase, when we get the rate increase, of course, it's gonna increase our sales tax, so it's gonna be even more for us. But the thing is, we don't have good, well, we don't get any customer service from this company. And I know myself, having called with a bad gas leak, that it was 3.5 hours before they even got there. But what I'm thinking is maybe if the city would at least look at this and see if there's any other way that we could go to maybe get another company, or, I think sometimes these people have to come out of Houston. I'm not sure. They used to have a place in Beaumont, and I'm not sure that they still have that. I don't know. But I do.
We used to have our own generating plant here.
We used to have it here, right. And then they went to Beaumont. I think they're in Houston now, I believe. But they may have a service person closer. I'm not sure about that. But 3.5 hours for a bad gas leak is bad. But anyway, I just wanted to bring it to your attention, and I think that maybe if you would just look at it and see if maybe there's something else that we could do. I do notice on here that there's a Mr. David Barkat, I believe is the name, Burkett, is requesting that the city to deny the rate increase. I don't know that the city can do that because we can't set their rates, but anyway, it's just a suggestion. And the thing is, another thing, I didn't know about this until the city council meeting, about the rate increase. Now, maybe, it's not on my bill, and I don't know if I got something else in the mail, I don't know, but, or I didn't see it. But this is just another reason I think that people should come to the city council meeting just to learn this stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have a short agenda, but everything is important. We will begin with action item 1. Consider approval for the set of minutes from the November 18, 2019 meeting.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Have a motion and a second for the approval of the minutes from the November 18th, 2019 meeting. Are there any questions? Not all in favor signify by the usual sign of voting. Motion approved, it's unanimous. And by the way, for the record, Mr. Hopkins is not here. He called and he had been out of town and just was gonna be unable to be here. Item number 2, consider the statement of intent to the increased rate for the Center Point, Texas, Beaumont.
I move that we take no action on this.
Have a motion.
What did you say, Mitch?
I'm motioning that we not take any action on this.
So that makes it go away. Are you tabling it?
No, not tabling it.
Okay.
It's as stated in the, as Ms. O'Neill said on the second page of that, it said, this filing is informational in nature and the city need take no action, although it may participate in the proceedings at the commission, so.
Denise, is this something that we have to have done?
Yeah, all this was really for information purposes. They were just required to deliver this to us, and they delivered it to us at the end of November. And this is the first opportune time to present it to you. There's nothing, to my understanding, there's nothing that we can do to stop them.
So basically, they just tell us they're gonna do it.
Yes, sir. This
Just
is-
letting us know.
Yes, sir. This is my understanding. And I don't know why Mr. Burkett, why he said that when he did, because it's not in writing, there's nothing we can do.
Right.
We've never, in the past, I don't remember us ever approving it. It was just information that they came in, and I had to sign for it and just say that I would present it to you as council, and that's all I'm doing.
Oh, thank you. I mean, they're the only game in town, what are you gonna do, right?
It's okay, let the lights go out.
All right, we have a
Yes.
Motion and a second. Are there any additional questions or comments?
Just a comment here to address, what Ms. O'Neill said about the increase. It looks like it's gonna be about a $29 per account increase annually, is what they're talking about.
Right, it's
We don't know
Give or
that.
take a little bit.
$2.64 a month.
All right. Have a motion and a second. All in favor of taking no action, signify by the usual sign of voting. Motion carries. It's unanimous. Number 3, consider approval of the 2 resolutions, 2977 and 2978. Denise?
Can I give it to you, Susan?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know, these are just, resolutions here.
So does any of the council members have questions? I'm happy to explain. In a nutshell, the first one is a resolution adopting all of the civil rights requirements. These are HUD requirements that are passed down, in order to get this money. This particular grant is administered through the General Land Office, and this is the $2 million for the drainage improvements, the detention ponds, and the Sandy Creek improvements. Also, your regular, what we call CDBG block grants require the same set of civil rights adoption. And it's basically, it's fair housing, it's section 3, it's section 504, which is a non-discriminatory policy, and your citizen participation plan and your policy for grievance procedures. So it's absolutely nothing new that we have not asked you to adopt previously on previous grants. These all just come from HUD in this nice little package. So that's the first item, and then the second item that you'll come to is depository signatory forms. That's just who signs the contracts, who signs the draw request for the grant. I'm happy to answer any questions.
On the regulatory requirements, do you know why the GLO attaches this language to this money?
Because HUD, the money comes from HUD, and HUD makes these requirements.
Okay.
If we don't adopt these, we do not get the money.
Okay.
And it's strictly from HUD. They're the funding source from the federal government, and the General Land Office administers, but it's HUD laws.
So it's a requirement, if we don't adopt these, then, like you said, you don't get the money, so it's just.
That's correct. I have to provide these, they call them startup documents, and I have to provide these before we could draw the first dollar on the grant.
See, if we get the grant, we'll comply.
We already have the grant, we have a contract.
Oh, we do?
Yes, sir. We have a $2 million contract for this project. The engineers are already working, we're working, things are in progress. We're working with Denise and Greg on this particular project.
I make a motion, we accept both resolutions.
Second.
Have a motion and second for the approval of both resolutions 2977 and 2978. Are there any questions? All in favor signify by the usual sign of voting. Motion carries. It's unanimous. Number 4, we're gonna adjourn into executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551, section 551.086, regarding public utilities and the settlement agreement with SRMPA. And Denise, I'm gonna ask that you join us for informational. Should not be long.
Gary.
Okay.
Yeah, you.
Sure.